Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. Either way, I'm super happy you're here. So I already have 3 nails dipped out. This one is Revel's Rosebud. This one is Revel Tender. And this one is, I don't know what I was doing, Revel Intrigued. I am going to use those exact dips for these 2 nails in a marble, but first we are going to do some reverse stamping, and that way it can dry while I'm doing the marble nails. So I'm going to use that half of the butterfly to do this, and I've always wondered if I could use regular nail polish to do stamping, and you can. It's going to depend. It has to be a very pigmented nail polish. I've tried with others and it hasn't worked, but this one worked. This is Mooncat. It will be linked in the description. I can't remember what it's called at the moment, but we're going to use it as the outline, and then we're going to do some reverse stamping. This is a for a dip contest by Butterfly Dips Designs by Candy, and you have till the 31st to enter, and I highly recommend it. I'm going to put the image up right here. So that's just the inspiration. You can do whatever you want with that image. You do not have to use her dips. I wanted to so bad, and I have 2 gorgeous purples, but I don't have any of the other colors. So that's why I just kind of went with Revel. I wish I had more dips from her, but she's a new company I just discovered. I'm influencing her for this month, and I think maybe next month. And I'm super excited about that. But she's definitely going to be, this company is definitely going to be one of my go-to for dips. So far, I love the quality. She's great. Yeah, I'm very excited about this company. They don't have a huge selection of dips yet, but I'm sure longer they're around, the more they'll get, just kind of standard. So I'm excited to join this, hopefully win. That would be a bonus. You do win 6 free dips. So it's a super easy contest to enter. And you don't even have to do any nail art. It can just be purple and green or whatever you take from the inspiration. It doesn't matter. Go to her either Instagram or Facebook group, Butterfly Dips Designs by Candy, and you will see like the hashtag to enter the contest. I can actually leave it across the screen right here. So yeah, just use that hashtag when you post, and you have till the 31st, but definitely worth entering. Anyway, we are using this beautiful green to do a lot of the fill in of the butterfly, and then we're going to go in with a lilac-y purple to fill in the rest. Reverse stamping is so easy, but you go outside the lines every once in a while, so I just take a dotting tool to clean that up. And I'm sorry, my phone does go a little blurry when my hand gets in the way. I have not figured out how to combat that yet, but yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully you guys can still see pretty clearly what I'm doing. So I'm going to fill this in with the purple, and then we're going to set this aside to dry, and we're going to get into the marble nails. But I'm going to let you guys watch this while I finish this up, and I will be right back. Oh, I think it turned out so good. So we're going to take this French dip tray. This is my favorite thing to marble in because it's very shallow. And we are going to use this to grab the colored dips that we're marbling with. And then we're going to use this to actually do the marble. This is the Rosebud. I do kind of in hindsight wish I would have used a lighter color. It is really light. You can tell on my, but I don't know. I think it kind of muddled the marble a little bit. But overall, I'm still really happy with how the marble turned out. I haven't done a marble in a long time, actually. It's been a while. And originally I did this and I had a whole nother video for it. Very different. And I took pictures and had the video all ready. And, well, I didn't have it ready. I didn't edit it or anything. And it just didn't work for me. You know, that happens sometimes. So I popped it off and decided to go a whole nother route. This is very different than what I originally did. I still had reverse stamping of butterflies in there, but I didn't have any green at all in the entire mani, which is fine. You can do that if that's what you want. If that's what you take for, you could do all purple, you could do all green, you can do whatever you want. It's whatever you take from the inspiration. But I had kind of rushed that mani and I just decided it wasn't the look I wanted, so I redid it. So we're going to go in with our Revel Sensitive, which I've used it about, this is probably the 6th mani I've used it on. And I'm just, the more I use it, the more I'm falling in love with it. I've got to get this liquid thing down. It's the only thing I'm still struggling with. It's like sometimes I have too much on my brush and I flood my cuticles. Sometimes I don't have enough and I have to dip back into the base to get more. Yeah, I don't know. I never really have to dip back in on the first coat. It's always the second coat, which you'll see here in a second. But on my thumb, I have to dip back in. It's okay. It's just going to take a little time because they are a very different consistency than the Color My World, and I'm just not used to it yet. So I'm cleaning up my cuticles here, and when I go to do this side, I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't even get any dip on that corner of the up by the cuticle. So I dipped back in and I got that, which is another thing I really love about low odor or just any slow drying or slower, is it's not a big deal. I just went back in and I just dipped it because it was still wet. So yeah, we're doing our second layer now. And we're gonna dip back in and get, and I did do a second set of the marbling off camera. I mean, you guys saw me do it the first time. I do it the exact same way when I have to do it again to get more marble effect. And then, but I just kind of, yeah. And which is probably one of the reasons this dip turned out, the base of this dip turned out a little bit muddy, is because instead of dumping the whole dip, I just kind of mixed it up and then did the marble on top again. And that could be one of the reasons. Overall, I still really like how it turned out. I just maybe would do it a little bit more cautiously if I were to do it again. That's all. It's not a big deal. It still turned out really good. You're about to see here in a second when I get this last dip. I did clear cap and activate off camera. Technically, I did it on camera, but I pulled it out. The video was just really long, so I had to scrap some stuff that wasn't really necessary to be in the video. So right now I'm just cleaning off the nails after filing and buffing. So we are going to go in with my tried and true stuck for stamping, especially for a reverse image that's completely dry. There's like, you can get away with nothing if you are just doing stamping and you are really quick about it. You don't even need a sticky base coat. Trust me, I've done it hundreds of times. But when you're doing a reverse image that's completely dry, you need something. And this is my favorite stuff because it's so sticky and so good. So I'm going to apply this kind of like I would a decal, just from side to side. I want it to lay very flat. I did get a little piece up in the cuticle, but that's okay. I just, boom, clean it out. It's so easy, no big deal. And there we go. We have it. And now because my stamp is completely dry, I don't have to worry about going in with the foil glue base like I usually do to protect it from smudging. It's not going to smudge. I just go in with a regular nail polish top coat, and the only reason I do this is because you could probably do a dip base. I don't want to do a dip base because then it's going to take forever to dry. because I don't want to touch the stamp with the activator. I'm afraid it would ruin it. I could test that out, and I may, but I wasn't going to test that out with the stamp that I just took forever to perfect and reverse, you know, color in and then dry. There's no way I was going to chance ruining it, but maybe I'll check that out in the future and see if that's an option. So we went in with our 2 coats of activator, which I always do 2 coats. It helps the dip top coat dry faster if you're using a slower drying dip top coat. If you're using a regular one, then 2 is not necessary. And then I wiped off with a lint-free wipe. No alcohol, just a lint-free wipe. And we're going to do 3 quick swipes, sometimes a little bit more. These dips do not contaminate easily, so I can get away with like a few extra brush strokes on my nail, and it's not an issue. I've never contaminated the top coat. I've contaminated the base once, but never the top coat. This is Daisy Dips Nail Co., if you were wondering. And right now, this is hands down my absolute favorite top coat. I love it so much. So now we waited 1 minute after our first layer, and we're going in with our second layer. I don't know what it is for me. Like, the first coat doesn't dry all wrinkly. It actually dries really shiny. Sometimes I'm like, gosh, I feel like I could get away with 1 coat. But when I add the second coat, it just gives it that extra yumminess, that extra shine that I really, really love. So that's why I just time it for 1 minute. Normally I would just wait until, well, actually that's not true because I use odorless all the time. But if you're using a regular dip top coat, you just kind of want to watch the nails, and when they're like looking a little wrinkly and yeah, then you know you're ready to go in with the second layer. But with the odorless, I just time it 1 minute and I'm good to go. So that is it. We are going to use this cuticle oil that I got off of Amazon a long time ago. But it's grape, so I felt like it kind of fit the theme. So that's what we're using today. And that's our butterfly dips contest Mani. The right hand is the color palette challenge Mani. And I love how that one turned out too. And I did some stamping on that one as well. Anyway, we're done. By the way, if anyone was wondering, I was finally able to get on the train and go get my son. So he is here. Yay to that. The weather is warming up. The snow is melting, which is making a sloppy mess everywhere, but that's okay. I survived my train trip to Washington and made it back in one piece. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.